ball played forward, but it's going to run through to Conrad Logan in the Stags goal. Conrad Logan all in green. The rest of the Stags side in the new home kit of amber and blue. And a long ball forward from Conrad Logan towards Joe Quigley. And the ball is played forward down the right-hand side by Tom Fielding, but that'll go through to the Swansea City keeper. And in just a minute or so, I'll be able to tell you who the Swansea City keeper is, hopefully. I think the Swansea analyst is still writing the team down for us, so we should have that for you shortly. But Swansea have the ball halfway inside their own half, and they're playing it out from the back here, all in white, Swansea City. And they go back to their keeper, who's all in purple. It's a glorious day here in Portugal. And the ball is back with the Swansea keeper. So just 3 minutes gone here. Nothing in terms of goalmouth action at either end. And the ball is played forward to the halfway line by Swansea. They're coming forward. Out to the right-hand side for number 23, who crosses into the middle, but it's too far. It'll just be picked up by the corner flag, and the Swansea player slips over, actually. And that'll go behind for a goal kick to the Stags. Now, the referee says that that's a corner, but it certainly didn't look like it, and young Noah Stokes can't believe it's been given as a corner. And nevertheless, a corner it is, or is it a free kick? I think it's going to be a corner for Swansea City from the left-hand side. Certainly looked as though the Swansea player simply fell over, but a corner has been given, being taken from the left-hand side by number 23 for Swansea. High, into the middle, ball's up in the air, goes over the bar, and it's a goal kick, says the referee. So 4 minutes gone here at Villarreal. To Santa Antonio, Mansfield side. If you weren't with us from the start, it's Conrad Logan in goal. Back three of young Noah Stokes from last year's youth team. On the right, Christian Pearce in the middle, and Ryan Sweeney on the left. James Clark and CJ Hamilton are the wing backs, and then Neil Bishop is behind Sir Smith and Tom Fielding, and up front, Joe Quigley and Nicky Maynard for Mansfield. I don't think Maynard has touched the ball yet. Swansea City have the ball in the centre circle. It's out to the left-hand side. So we've got the Swansea 11 now, which will help with the commentary. Dean?
Yeah, the Swansea analyst has just sorted out the names. He doesn't know the name of the keeper, though, Martin, so we can't give you that one. But it's a decent start from Swansea City. Mansfield Town keeping the shape quite well. Tremendous atmosphere created from the Stags fans. We had a chance of yellows earlier on, which is quite bizarre in the middle of Portugal, near the Spanish border. But the Stags seem to have settled reasonably well, and the pitch is good, so it's going to be a good test, Martin, that's for sure.
Yeah, the pitch is glorious. I came to have a look at the ground yesterday, and it's a superb grass pitch here. As I mentioned earlier, been used for 4 international matches, including Wales against Poland in 2009, rather oddly. CJ Hamilton has a throw-in for Mansfield, just a few yards inside the Swansea City half. He's at left wing back today. He throws it inside towards Nicky Maynard, but it's headed away by Connor Roberts for Swansea. He's the number 23 at right wing back. And the ball comes off Jordan Garrick of Swansea City. That'll be a throw-in for Mansfield, which Hamilton takes short to Alistair Smith. He loses it, but the ball falls kindly for Neil Bishop, sitting in front of the back three today, to Noah Stokes, and then out to the right-hand side to young James Clark, signed for the under-21 squad, but might have himself a chance of breaking into the first team. CJ Hamilton now taking on Garrick down the right-hand side, does brilliantly to get past his man, crosses into the middle, but it's headed away. That was classic CJ Hamilton. Alistair Smith has the ball, plays it forward, and it might fall for Tom Fielding, but the ball's played away, and that'll be a free kick for Swansea. What a brilliant piece of play by CJ Hamilton there, Dean.
Absolute class from CJ. Lots of Stags fans are a bit concerned whether we'd be managing to keep hold of CJ. He's here at the moment, and that was a great bit of skill. vintage CJ Hamilton there. Got the Stags fans excited and on their feet here. And Swansea struggling to handle him the way that he's playing at the minute. But yeah, great to still have CJ involved, part of the Stags squad for the upcoming season. Spoke to him yesterday, such a nice guy, and I know he's excited about being here.
Ball forward from Hamilton to Quigley, out to the right-hand side for James Clark. He tries to play it down the line, but his ball is intercepted by number 55, Brandon Cooper, for Swansea City, and the ball is out for a throw-in for Swansea, halfway inside their own half, in front of the supermarket on the far side of the ground. Bought off salmon for our tea in there last night, which was very nice. So the stadium here, there's a main stand, which we're right at the back of here. Probably holds, I don't know, a couple of thousand, I would have thought. It's quite a large main stand, but it's the only stand. There's a running track around the ground. On the right-hand side is some kind of sports centre. Behind the goal on our right-hand side, and away to the left-hand side, there isn't really anything apart from the running track. And on the far side, it's just an empty space, really, with a supermarket there, as I already mentioned. Mansfield have a throw-in halfway inside their own half on the right-hand side. James Clark throws it down the line towards Nicky Maynard, but it's headed away. Oh, and then James Clark rises above the Swansea player, and he falls awkwardly, I think. But he's getting up, so he's going to be all right. And Swansea have the ball just inside the Stags' half. They play it out to the right-hand side to Connor Roberts, playing on the right wing-back position. Mansfield win the ball back through Alistair Smith. Hamilton plays it forward to Nicky Maynard, who would have been through on goal, but the offside flag is up. We're right in line with that. I think he probably was just offside, but just for a second, Nicky Maynard looked as though he might be through.
Yeah, just for a second. We've not got VAR, have we? Out here in Portugal, but I think he was off, Martin. But it was a great idea, and Maynard just a little touch offside there. But again, speaking to him yesterday at the training session, he's delighted to assign for Mansfield Town. He's really impressed with everything he's found so far, and I'm not sure he's even been to the One Call Stadium yet, Martin. So massive signing. I know one that really excited the Stags fans. So great to have him on board.
No, I don't think Maynard has been to the One Call Stadium since being a Stags player. He'd been there with Bury, of course, last season. In that game, it was around Christmas time, wasn't it? Boxing Day, I think Mansfield won it 2-1. In fact, I think Nicky Maynard, in either the interview he gave or the behind-the-scenes video, I can't remember which one it was, as the ball is back with the Swansea keeper, who even the Swansea analyst doesn't know who that is. Maynard was saying that he reckoned it was about just over an hour, I think, he said, from his home to the One Call Stadium for that game on Boxing Day. And that was that seemed to be a big part of his decision to join Mansfield, actually, that he can actually commute to Mansfield from home so that he can spend so much time with his young family. Swansea have the ball halfway inside the Stags' half. Jack Grant plays it out to the left-hand side. James Clark is trying to stop the ball coming in. He's done that successfully. And Swansea go back to almost the halfway line. Ball out to the right-hand side for Jordan Garrick. Jordan Garrick taking on CJ Hamilton on the right-hand side. Gets to the byline, crosses into the middle, but it's caught by Conrad Logan. I think CJ Hamilton will be a bit disappointed he didn't stop that cross coming in, but it was straight at Conrad Logan, who immediately knocks the ball forward, headed away by Swansea. Matt Grimes has the ball, and it's out to the right-hand side for Connor Roberts for Swansea City on the halfway line. Out to the right-hand side for Jordan Garrick. Back to Connor Roberts. So Connor Roberts coming forward, down the right-hand side, plays the ball inside, gets the ball back, then knocks the ball back to number 34, Jack Grans. And Swansea have the ball on the left-hand side. James Clark is trying to stop it coming in. I think he's won a goal kick. No, it's going to be a corner. Comes off James Clark. Won by Brandon Cooper. So a corner for Swansea City. We played 11.5 minutes here. Not too much in the way of goal-mouth action. The best bit, really, was a superb piece of skill by CJ Hamilton, getting to the byline, getting past his man, but his cross was clear. So corner for Swansea City from the left-hand side. It's high. Beyond the far post, goes over everybody. Picked up on the far side. Hamilton is battling for the ball against Jack Grans. Ball's not gone out of play, and Hamilton's done really well to clear it, but only as far as Mike van der Horn, who crosses it into the middle, and it's just ahead of the striker, who, when he turns round, we'll be able to see who that was. That wasn't a bad crossing at all from is it Van der Horn or Van der Norn? I can't quite read the analyst's writing. And the striker, who is Liam Cullen, wasn't far away from heading that in.
No, it's a great ball into the corridors of uncertainty there, and just needed somebody to pounce on it from a Swansea point of view. But Conrad Logan wouldn't have had much chance had anybody got on the end of it, but it was a great ball in. But in the end, ultimately, no problem for the Stags. Tackled well here, Martin, putting some nice touches together. But as you say, apart from that flash of skill from CJ Hamilton, not too much else from an attacking sense.
Swansea City, in case you're wondering why Mansfield are playing Swansea City in this game, Swansea City have been on a training camp in Spain, about a 45-minute journey from here. We're very close to Spain, literally a few metres. Swansea coming forward down the right-hand side with Garrick taking on Hamilton, and gets past Hamilton into the air, slides the ball back, but it's well cleared away by Tom Fielding. Good defending by Tom Fielding. Garrick got past Hamilton again on the right-hand side. It'll be a bit of a concern for Mansfield, but good play from Garrick, and it was good defending from young Tom Fielding, who's playing in midfield this morning, who knocked the ball away. Swansea have the ball again, and they get it out to the left-hand side for the left winger. I can't see his number, so I'm not quite sure who that is. But a high cross into the middle. I think he's going to go over everybody, and I think he's going to be shepherded out for a goal kick by Hamilton, who gets a little push in the back from Garrick, but successfully shepherds it out for a goal kick.
Say CJ up against a player with a lot of pace, Martin, and he's finding it quite difficult to track his marker. But we've got away with it so far. But we know CJ's main skills are in attack, but done reasonably well so far. I think it's just settling down now. Swansea, obviously a mixture of youth and experience, but it's quite hot out there as well, Martin. It's just gone midday here, but temperature's rising. But so far, I think the Stags have adapted reasonably well.
Yep, Nicky Maynard chips the ball over the top towards Quigley, but Quigley can't get there. It's cleared away by Swansea. They have the ball on the left-hand side. So they're going to knock it back to their defender and then back to their keeper, the unnamed keeper. And then Connor Roberts has it at the back. They're playing it across the back line. Swansea City. They chip it forward. As I was mentioning, Swansea City are on a training camp in Spain, as there's a free kick for Swansea halfway inside their own halves. Swansea on a training camp in Spain, 45-minute journey. Their analyst was telling me earlier, to get here. Mansfield have had about an hour journey or so from just north of Albufeira, so it was a convenient location for the two sides to play this game. Swansea have taken the free kick, sliding it forward. Matt Grimes, certainly played against Mansfield before. Exeter City, was it? I think the club he played for, if I remember rightly. But the ball's given away by Swansea. It's won by Neil Bishop, but given away by Alistair Smith, and Garrick is coming forward down the right-hand side. He cuts inside CJ Hamilton and then cuts past Alistair Smith as well. And Swansea have the ball, about 25 yards from the Stags' goal. Ball is out to the right-hand side again for Connor Roberts of Swansea. He slides it forward to Garrick and back to Connor Roberts. To the left-hand side. I haven't worked out who that left-sided player is, but his cross anyway, it's number 55, it's Brandon Cooper. His cross is well blocked by young James Clark, and that'll be a throw-in for Swansea, more or less level with the edge of the Stags area on the left-hand side. But they've thrown it all the way back into their own half. And the ball is with Mike van der Horn. Oh, that's a crunching challenge by Joe Quigley. Not really the sort of challenge you normally see in these pre-season friendlies. I think if there had been a league game, Dean, that Quigley would have probably picked up a yellow card for that.
I think he would. He was certainly late, weren't he? But he's not made a big meal of it, to be fair. He's got up as quickly as he probably can. And no yellow cards or anything like that from the referee at this stage. So so far been played in a good spirit, Martin.
Yep, Swansea coming forward down the right-hand side with Garrick. Garrick plays the ball inside. Bishop tries to win it, he can't do so. Ollie McBurn has it for Swansea. Out to the left-hand side for Brandon Cooper again. Brandon Cooper on the left-hand side, taking on James Clark, crosses it into the middle. It's looked as though it taken a deflection off James Clark, but it's gone behind. The referee says that's a goal kick. So it obviously didn't come off James Clark. Yeah, I was thinking back last night to exactly a year ago, and we played the Portuguese side. I can remember that being a really rough encounter. The Portuguese side, top flight side, Vitória de Setúbal. They were really rough, actually, the side a year ago in Portugal. I don't know if you remember that, Dean. And there was a couple of really bad challenges in that game that we thought should have had action taken against them, but they didn't. One possible mistake here. Maynard tries to get in as a defender, allows a long ball over the top from Logan to bounce, which could have been fatal, but it just ran through to the keeper. And Maynard actually wasn't far away from getting on the end of that.
Yeah, he was very alert there, was Maynard. We know he scored a lot of goals for Bury last season, so good to see him, first of all, in an amber shirt, but alive and alert. Yeah, you're quite right, Martin. It was almost a year ago, weren't it? And, yeah, opposition on that day in Portugal were quite rough and ready. I think that's fair. There was some juicy tackles that were flying in. And I know David Flitcroft at the time weren't too happy after the match. There were 1 or 2 challenges that went in, but fully competitive. But I think that's probably in the mindset of, the Stags management when they're actually looking at fixing up these games. I understand it was Swansea that got in touch with us, so they really wanted this game. So, yeah, so good so far.
Hamilton has the ball on the left-hand side for Mansfield. Plays it inside to Alistair Smith, about 25 yards from goal. Smith out to the right-hand side for James Clark. James Clark level with the edge of the area, low cross in, but it's been blocked by Brandon Cooper. And Swansea should be able to come away with the ball, which they do on the left-hand side, halfway inside their own half. But Alistair Smith does well to get a challenge in then. Thinks he should have won a throw-in, but the linesman over there has given the throw-in to Swansea City, level with the edge of their own area. And so we've played here just 19.5 minutes at Villarreal de Santa Antonio, and it's 0-0 between Swansea City and Mansfield Town. It's a good workout so far. Some exciting play going forward from CJ Hamilton. At the other end, he's had it all on against Jordan Garrick on the right-hand side. He's got past him a couple of times, so Hamilton very much in the action at both ends of the field. Mansfield have won themselves a free kick here, 35 yards from goal on the right-hand side. And it looks as though James Clark, the right wing-back, is going to take this, or is he going to leave it for Tom Fielding? In fact, Tom Fielding is going to take this. Played a part in a Checkatrade Trophy game last year, I seem to recall. That was his debut, I think. So Tom Fielding is going to take this free kick, left-footed for Mansfield. High, into the box, and Quigley gets his head on it, but can't keep it in play, and it goes behind for a goal kick. I think the free kick was just a little bit too high for Quigley there, and he couldn't really do much with it.
Yeah, too strong there from Fielding. Good to see him get in a game today, but that free kick too strong. I don't think Quigley had much chance, to be fair. Did manage to get his head on it, but weren't able to direct it goalwards. Yeah, interesting Quigley. I believe he's on trial at the minute. Talks are ongoing, so I think it's an interesting one to keep his eye on.
Ball forward towards Hamilton on the left-hand side. Hamilton taking on the left-back. Hamilton teasing him one way or the other. Can't get past him, but does win a corner against Connor Roberts. So good play from CJ Hamilton on the left-hand side. Looks as though it's going to be Alistair Smith who is going to take this corner for Mansfield from the left-hand side. Mansfield sending everybody forward. They're leaving Tom Fielding back and CJ Hamilton. Everybody else from Mansfield in and around the box. So Alistair Smith with this corner for the Stags from the left-hand side. High towards the far post and headed wide at the far post by Who was that headed wide by, Dean? Noah Stokes, I think. Noah Stokes headed that wide at the far post, and we're going to get a drinks break here, which is sensible because it's so hot with 22 minutes gone. But that was a good corner from Alistair Smith, and Noah Stokes at the far post headed it wide. I seem to remember seeing him score for the youth team away at Bournemouth in the FA Youth Cup last season, but he couldn't direct that header on target.
As you say, but it was a good corner, and it was a good play from CJ Hamilton, twisting and turning, really taking his Swansea counterpart to the cleaners on this left-hand side. They're really struggling to cope with CJ in an attacking sense, and he's been our biggest threat so far, Martin, by a country mile, really, CJ Hamilton, as we thought he would be. But yeah, sensible, isn't it, to let the players get a drinks break. We're 20 minutes in, so probably halfway through the first half. It's really hot out here in Portugal, so it makes sense for both sides to get some water, get some fluid on board, and look at the Stags fans. I think they're going to try and do the same, Martin.
Let's just refresh on the Stags side while we've got a moment, and I'll give you the second half side as well. So the Mansfield first half side is Conrad Logan in goal, the back three of young Noah Stokes, Christian Pearce and Ryan Sweeney. Then the wing-backs are James Clark on the right, CJ Hamilton on the left, and then Neil Bishop is playing behind Tom Fielding and Alistair Smith, with Joe Quigley and Nicky Maynard up front for Mansfield. The Mansfield second half team is Aidan Stone in goal, Aidan Walker on the right of the back three, with Matt Preston in the middle and young Lewis Gibbons on the left, and then the wing backs, Jason Law on the right, Mal Benning on the left, and then Jacob Meles will play behind Willem Tomlinson and Otis Khan in midfield, with Andy Cook and Danny Rose up front, which I think is just about most of the squad being utilised. Hayden White not getting a run out today. Also, Jimmy Knowles not getting a run out. Whether any of these will come on as a late substitute, I'm not sure. Tyrese Sinclair not getting a run out. Jamie Chisholm not getting a run out. I think pretty much everyone else getting a run out. I'm sure there'll be one or two players I've forgotten, but I think that covers most of it. We're back underway. And Swansea playing the ball out from the back with Mike van der Horn. And Connor Roberts has the ball halfway inside his own half. Plays it into the centre circle to number 9, Ollie McBurney, whose name is familiar. I think he's played against the Stags before, but I can't remember who for. And McBurney has the ball again on the left-hand side. Inside to Matt Grimes, formerly of Exeter City. And then a name I can't actually read there. Can you read that name, Dean? Jan Harries? I'm not sure who that is. Anyway, it is the danger man, Garrick, who has the ball on the right-hand side. He's taking on Hamilton again, as he has done several times this afternoon. Can't get past him this time. Is forced to go back to Grant, and then a low ball into the middle. Oh, great save from Conrad Logan. Brilliant save from Conrad Logan. Was the shot from Roberts there. Great save from Conrad Logan, tipping that away. And then the rebound high over the bar. Super save from Conrad Logan. He finished last season magnificent form, didn't he, Dean? And looks as though he might be starting this one in the similar form.
Yeah, he did, Martin. Spot on. He got a lot of praise for his performances towards the back end of the last season. Rightly so. And called into action there. And it was a stunning flying stop there from the Stags goalkeeper. Did really, really well. The privilege to watch him train yesterday. And absolutely so intense. He was throwing himself all over the place, blocking this, blocking that, saving this, and real inspiration. Not the like an experienced goalkeeper, Martin. We know that, but certainly still lively, still on his mettle, and saved the Stags on that occasion. That's for sure, because that would have been a goal to Swansea. So big credit for Conrad.
Swansea have the ball on the halfway line with Connor Roberts. Garrick again has it. Goes back to Roberts on the halfway line. And he goes back into his own half to Harries, I think. Can't quite read the writing of the Swansea player's name. Maynard is trying to win the ball off Connor Roberts. He can't do so. And Swansea have the ball again. That was probably just about the closest we've come there with that save from Logan, and a fine save it was. Garrick has the ball on the right-hand side for Swansea. Forward to Wayne Routledge. Not seen too much of him so far. And then Roberts again on the right-hand side. High ball to the far side, goes over everybody. Right to the far side, picked up by Brandon Cooper. Swansea keeping the ball nicely. Perhaps just starting to get on top here. Ball forward, but well intercepted by Neil Bishop. But all he can do is clear it into the Swansea half. Swansea certainly getting on top in the last few moments here. And Conrad Roberts has the ball again coming forward. Yeah, inside to Ollie McBurney. And McBurney gets past Alistair Smith, lays it off to Garrick. Garrick down by the corner flag on the right-hand side, taking on CJ Hamilton. Lays it inside to McBurney again. Goes back to Grands. And then the ball out to the left-hand side to Brandon Cooper. Swansea keeping the ball in the Stags' half here. Grands has the ball. Chipped forward for Roberts to run onto on the right-hand side. Roberts plays it inside, just outside the area, to Garrick, who's offside. And a bit of respite for Mansfield, as Swansea had the Stags under some pressure there.
Yeah, we've been under the cosh for the last couple of minutes. I think Swansea are playing really well, spreading the ball from left to right, using the full width of the pitch here. And it's quite a large pitch here at this stadium. It's Complexo Desportivo. But yeah, they're stretching the Stags, but so far we've defended reasonably well under pressure.
Stags coming forward, ball to the far post towards Joe Quigley, and Joe Quigley hits the bar from the left-hand side. It was a great ball from the right-hand side from James Clark to Joe Quigley on the left, and Quigley fired against the bar. And I'm sure he'd have loved a goal there. He's on trial with Mansfield. That was a great effort from Joe Quigley. Side-footed it from the left-hand side, and he hit the bar with the keeper beaten, and Mansfield unlucky there after 29 minutes here. Great effort. The Stags have a corner, which Alistair Smith will take from the left-hand side. Everybody forward apart from Fielding and Hamilton from Mansfield. Smith with his corner from the left-hand side. Beyond the far post, headed back by Sweeney, but the referee says that that is a foul by Ryan Sweeney. And Swansea under pressure there from Mansfield, just about get away with it.
Yeah, what a tremendous effort by Quigley, though, on trial here at Mansfield Town. And side-footed it, as you said, but had plenty of pace, plenty of power, cracked the underside of the crossbar and bounced to safety. But it was a tight angle. Didn't have any right to get that close, really, with that shot. But very unlucky from our point of view. We were the closest by far to taking the lead here in this game. But a great shot from Quigley. Unfortunate to hit the bar.
Offside flag is up against Swansea City as they attack at the far end. So half an hour gone here at Villarreal de Santo Antonio. It's Swansea City 0, Mansfield Town 0. Both sides coming close in the last few minutes. Joe Quigley, a really good effort against the underside of the bar from the left-hand side from James Clark's cross. And at the other end, a really good save from Conrad Logan. Tipping the ball away. Mansfield fans making a bit of noise just beneath us here. About 100 or so Stags fans, I'd say. I know 50. Dean was saying on the coach he came on from Albufeira. And we've got, what do we got? 10 fans from Swansea, I would say, probably. A sprinkling is fairly generous. I would say about 10 from Swansea, something like that. We've got a Swansea City player down. So we'll have a little bit of a break here. Players making the most of the opportunity to have a little drink. I think it's been a good workout so far. Swansea had Mansfield under pressure for 5 minutes or so, Dean. Mansfield have come out of that, created a good chance of their own with Quigley hitting the bar. And then from the resulting corner, Sweeney was penalised for a foul, but the Stags pretty much holding their own here.
Absolutely, I think it's been a really good display so far, Martin. We're only a week and a couple of days into the Stags being back for pre-season. This game, the culmination of all the training camp work they've been putting into. I think they've been this 10-day trip out to Portugal. This is the highlight for a lot of Stags fans, but this is the real work, isn't it? So it's a real test. And, it's better than an inter-squad game. You've got, it's not competitive, but you've got Swansea players, obviously, that's got a good pedigree, a lot of pride, will, want to win. So this is a really good test, but Stags certainly come the closest, Martin.
Well, CJ Hamilton's going to be pleased because Garrick is limping off here. Garrick has caused Hamilton some problems down the right-hand side. And Garrick has limped off, been replaced by number 54, whose name we don't have, as Alistair Smith wins a free kick on the halfway line, which Hamilton is going to leave for Alistair Smith to take. No, and Smith in turn is going to leave it for Ryan Sweeney. Ryan Sweeney. Long diagonal ball out towards Quigley, goes over Quigley, cleared away by Swansea, but well controlled by Bishop on the halfway line. He goes back to Noah Stokes. Noah Stokes, high ball forward towards Quigley. Quigley tries to lay it off to Tom Fielding on the right-hand side, down by the corner flag. Good ball to Alistair Smith. Alistair Smith will win a corner there as his ball forward deflects off a Swansea player. Nice move from Mansfield involving Tom Fielding on the right-hand side. And the Stags have a corner, which the left-footed Tom Fielding will take. Everybody forward from Mansfield again, apart from Hamilton and I think Clark. So Fielding with this corner, low, into the middle. Doesn't beat the first man, cleared away. Bishop chasing after it and does brilliantly to win it. And then recycle it out to the right-hand side for Fielding again. Fielding, left-footed ball, into the middle, just goes over Quigley and will go out for a goal kick. But a couple of nice crosses in from Fielding. And that one was just over Quigley, who looks frustrated at that. This is a real opportunity for Quigley on trial.
Absolutely, a great opportunity. We know we've signed two great frontmen in Cook and Maynard, but Craig Davis unfortunately appears to be not fit again. So we know about Danny Rose is still at the Stags. So, you know, there's three fit strikers there. So there's not going to be much opportunity for Quigley. So he needs to take it if he can.
Yeah, it is an opportunity for him. As you said, Craig Davis back in the UK, seemingly injured again, picked up a setback, I think John Dempster called it, in his recovery. Craig Davis, in an interview on iFollow a couple of weeks ago, said that he would be ready for the new season. There's a poor ball forward from the substitute number 54 for Swansea. Goes out for a goal kick. Craig Davis said, didn't he, on iFollow a couple of weeks ago, that basically he was going to be ready for the new season. He's obviously had a setback, and that does perhaps have an opening for Joe Quigley. In the second half here, we'll see Andy Cook and Danny Rose up front for Mansfield. Anyway, a long ball forward for Hamilton. Hamilton on the left-hand side, heading towards the byline, taking on the substitute. Low ball across the area, comes to Nicky Maynard, who knocks it into the net, and a deflection off a Swansea defender. It falls to Nicky Maynard, and the Stags lead here with that shot from Nicky Maynard. Hamilton's powerful cross in, ricocheted off a defender, and Nicky Maynard has his first goal in a Stag shirt, albeit in a pre-season friendly. Swansea City 0, Mansfield Town 1.
What a tremendous finish though, Martin, from Maynard there. Actual showed predatory instincts, didn't he? He reacted like lightning. The ball was loose in the 6-yard area and he thumped the ball home, and that's great to see. Stags fans, it's made the trip worthwhile. They've had a proper goal to celebrate, and it was lethal there, his finishing. That's what we bought into, Martin. That's what Nicky Maynard does, and it's great for him to get over the mark in his first competitive game. Yeah,
I mean, that was a real poacher's finish, wasn't it? The ball ricocheted off the defender, and Maynard was in the right place at the right time to knock it into the net from close range. 35 minutes gone here. Swansea City 0, Mansfield Town 1 at Villarreal de Santo Antonio, and Nicky Maynard will be pleased to have his first goal in a Stag shirt, albeit in a pre-season friendly. Long ball from Swansea out towards the left-hand side. Offside flag is up. And so the Stags leading here. They'd shown signs of getting on top in the minutes leading up to that goal, with Joe Quigley firing against the underside of the bar. And then a cross from the right-hand side from Fielding was just over Quigley, and then Mansfield taking the lead. Hamilton's powerful low cross ricocheting off the defender and into the net. And the Stags on top here and leading 1-0. Conrad Logan, long ball forward. Quigley heads it up in the air. Fielding tries to get there, can't do so. Tries to get there again. Again, can't do so. Ball's played forward. But Noah Stokes will knock it forward from Mansfield. Maynard tries to head it onto Quigley. Brilliant header from Maynard towards Quigley in the box. Quigley onto his left foot and shoots just over the bar. Quigley got that onto his left foot. Good header on by Nicky Maynard. And Quigley turning onto his left foot and firing over the bar from about 16 yards.
Yeah, again, Quigley, you can tell he's really desperate. He's really hungry for a goal. Out to impress out here in Portugal for the Stags, and trying to impress the Stags management, but too high with that shot. But showing good intent, good battling qualities, and good determination, wanting to get his shot underway. And Swansea have got a break on here, and they've just forced a corner kick. Still Swansea 0, Mansfield Town 1.
Yep, Connor Roberts there, winning a corner off Neil Bishop. Now, Neil Bishop has stayed down here. Hopefully, this is not going to be an injury for Neil Bishop. He's getting back up onto his feet. He's stretched to stop that cross coming, and I think Neil Bishop's going to be okay. He's made of stern stuff, of course, Neil Bishop. He's getting a pat from Christian Pearce, and Bishop back on his feet. And he'll just brush that one off, and he's ready to defend this corner. So corner for Swansea City from the right-hand side. Connor Roberts to take it. Low into the middle, all the way across the face of goal. Comes out on the far side, and will go out for a throw-in for Swansea. Level with the edge of the 6-yard box. That corner was low. Low, went through everybody to the far side. And away for a... excuse me, away for a throw-in to Swansea City on the left-hand side. Thrown towards the corner flag. James Clark, or was it Noah Stokes over there trying to win? James Clark, I think. And a good tackle by Tom Fielding. He's had a good first half here, and Swansea have themselves a throw-in on the left-hand side. Ollie McBurney has the ball, plays it forward to Wayne Routledge. Not seen a lot of him in this first half. And the ball's out to the left-hand side for Swansea. McBurney again. And Wayne Routledge tries to switch it to the right-hand side for Swansea, but Hamilton, I beg your pardon, Quigley wins it. Oh, and then a crunching challenge between Quigley and the Swansea substitute number 54. And the ball squirms up in the air. I'm sure you could hear the noise of that challenge. Both players came away from it okay. And Ollie McBurney has the ball for Swansea. Slides it to Connor Roberts on the right-hand side, down the byline. But he's having to go away from goal with good defending from Hamilton. Low cross in from the Swansea substitute number 54 is blocked by Alistair Smith, and that'll be a corner for Swansea. We've played 40 minutes here, so 5 minutes of the first half remaining, but we'll have some stoppage time if the referee wants to add it on, of course. They don't always in pre-season friendlies, but we did have a couple of minute break, drinks break. Corner for Swansea City from the right-hand side. Connor Roberts to take it. Low into the middle, cleared away by Alistair Smith, and then cleared further away by Nicky Maynard, all the way through to the Swansea City keeper, whose name we don't have. And then Swansea substitute, whose name we also don't have, has the ball. To Matt Grimes. Swansea have the ball just inside their own half. With Harries back with the Swansea substitute. And then Van der Horn. Swansea keeping the ball in their own half here. Mansfield keeping their shape nicely. It's a 3-4-3-5-2 formation, I suppose you'd say, for Mansfield. As Quigley wins the ball, and then Fielding coming forward, but it just is nicked back to the keeper by the Swansea defender. A 3-5-2 formation from Mansfield, really, with Bishop behind Alistair Smith and Fielding in the centre of midfield, and two wing-backs. Swansea coming forward with McBurney to Connor Roberts. McBurney again on the right-hand side. Moving across the field, gets the ball back 25 yards from goal. He's going to lay it off to the Swansea substitute number 54, who's low ball into the middle. Might have a chance for a shot, but it's straight at Conrad Logan from Liam Cullen, I think. Very easy save for Conrad Logan as opposed to a superb save that he made earlier. But Swansea creating a chance there.
Yeah, quite an easy save for Conrad Logan, but he still had to be in the right place. It was quite a powerful shot, straight at him, and good safe hands from Conrad Logan. Yeah, Swansea, I think a little bit shell-shocked by that Stags goal, and they've got the passing style back now, creating 1 or 2 opportunities. But I think in general it's been a really, really good workout in this first half, Martin. There's only 3 minutes or so to go till the break, but I think the gaffer will be really, really pleased so far.
Well, he will, because Mansfield are more than held their own here against a championship outfit, of course. Ball forward for Routledge, but it's great defending from Noah Stokes. Plays it forward to Tom Fielding. Tom Fielding, left-footed, but playing on the right side of midfield. Goes back to James Clark. James Clark tries to get past his man, but it's cleared away. Comes off Routledge and goes out for a Stags throw-in on the right-hand side, just inside the Swansea City half. Or, in fact, once they're going to pinch a few yards here. I think they're going to take it more or less halfway inside the Swansea half. No, referee tells them to go back fully 10 yards to just inside the Swansea half. And this throw-in will be taken by James Clark. Throws it down the line towards Maynard. Maynard controls it. But he's surrounded by 2 defenders and loses the ball. And Swansea will clear just about. A long ball forward from Matt Grimes. It goes into touch. There'll be a Stags throw-in on the right-hand side, just inside their own half, which James Clark takes short to Tom Fielding. Back to James Clark. Tom Fielding again, inside to James Clark. That's neat football from Mansfield. Into the centre of the park towards Alistair Smith. He lets it run for Ryan Sweeney. Now Hamilton has it on the left-hand side, taking on his man. Well, he gets past the first defender, the substitute number 54, but he can't get past the second one, which was Connor Roberts. But Roberts has put it behind for a corner. So Hamilton's pace causing Swansea problems again there. And Mansfield have another corner from the left-hand side. Again, Alistair Smith will take it. We've got a minute of the first half remaining. Mansfield have sent everybody forward apart from Hamilton and James Clark, I think. So Alistair Smith, the referee wants a word with players in the middle there. So he stops the corner being taken. Bit of pushing and shoving in the penalty area. Christian Pearce right in the centre of that. And Alistair Smith will take this corner again from the left-hand side. Alistair Smith high, beyond the far post. That's a poor one, though. He's put it behind for a goal kick. He'll be disappointed with that. A couple of good corners in this first half, but that wasn't a good one. And it'll be a goal kick for Swansea City. Mansfield trying to pen Swansea in here. They left everybody inside the Swansea half for this goal kick, which is being played out from the back by Van der Hoorn. And then the ball is with the substitute number 54 for Swansea coming forward. Long ball forward. Logan will come out. We won't get there. But Swansea have it just outside the area with Connor Roberts to McBurney. McBurney out to the right-hand side for the substitute number 54. Plays it down the line for Connor Roberts near the byline. He's been pushed over. That's a foul by Christian Pearce. Definite foul by Christian Pearce. And Swansea have themselves a free kick in a dangerous position. A couple of yards from the byline, just outside the penalty area. Then Christian Pearce kicks the ball away to stop the free kick being taken. He had probably picked up a yellow card in a league game, I think, for the mixture of the foul and then kicking the ball away. And Swansea have a free kick here on the right-hand side. It's a couple of yards from the byline, a couple of yards outside the box. It's a free kick for Swansea in stoppage time here at the end of the first half. A wall of just CJ Hamilton in it for Mansfield, everyone else in the box. Chipped into the middle and comes to the far post and goes just wide off McBurney, I think. Dangerous free kick there from Grimes and went wide off McBurney at the far post.
Well, it was whipped in. It was a great free kick, and Conrad Logan, very animated there, weren't happy with his defenders. Ultimately, it canned off a Swansea player, and it was a goal kick, so it's no problem. But Conrad Logan throwing his arms out, having a pop at his defenders there. We know that's really passionate about clean sheets. It's Conrad Logan, as is all the defence, especially the chief. But it's good to know even in a friendly there's so much passion there.
Long ball from Hamilton down the left-hand side. Maynard is chasing after it, but he can't get there. And the Swansea substitute number 54 plays the ball to Matt Grimes. And then Swansea have the ball halfway inside their own half, but they're going backwards here to Grimes again. We've played 2 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. We'll certainly be having a completely fresh Mansfield side. Long ball forward for Routledge, who's onside, and Routledge goes round Logan and will knock the ball into the net. Mansfield thought that should have been offside, but it's not been given. And a long ball forward for Routledge. He just controlled it, took it round Logan and into the net. And 3 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half, Swansea City are level here. Long ball forward towards Routledge. Mansfield thought he was offside. He wasn't. It wasn't given anyway. He took it around Logan and into the net. And with that, the half-time whistle has gone.
Well, it's been a really good display from the Stags in the first half, but they'll be really upset by that equaliser. We know it's a friendly. We know it's the first friendly of the new season, if you like. But it certainly looked offside, Martin, from my original thoughts. It was just a long ball, nobody near the Swansea player. Everybody appealed, linesmen weren't interested, and he did his job well. He rounded Conrad Logan with ease, really, and just stroked the ball into an empty net. That's a shame, because the Stags have played really well, and for me, deserved to be ahead. But it was given, whether that's an error or not, doesn't really matter. But I think, generally speaking, the Stags have played really well. CJ Hamilton in particular looked good down this left-hand side, set up the goal with a brilliant ball in that was deflected. And Maynard buried it from close range for his first Mansfield Town goal in pre-season. Say unfortunate slip at the end meant that it's 1-1. But generally speaking, I think we had some impressive performances. I think fielding's been on the ball quite a lot in the first half. And fitness has looked really good and sharp, considering this is only, 10 days into the Stags coming back. So I think we can be reasonably happy with the first half. It's just a shame, really, that Swansea have got a leveller right at the end.
Yeah, that's an impressive showing from Mansfield in the first half there. CJ Hamilton caused all sorts of problems for Swansea going forward down the left-hand side. As Dean said, he was instrumental in the goal with his powerful low cross on the left-hand side, which ricocheted off a defender into the path of Maynard, who was a typical poacher, really, in the right place at the right time to knock it into the net. Hamilton's been under pressure at the other end, especially from Jordan Garrick, who beat Hamilton 2 or 3 times early on. And I think Hamilton was probably relieved to see Garrick going off injured, probably around 30 minutes into that game there. And since then, Hamilton's been under less pressure at the back. So Hamilton very much in the action. But that's a very impressive performance from Mansfield. Logan made a super save on, around about the half-hour mark, I think. I can't quite see in my notes, but it was the first real chance for either side in that game. Then Joe Quigley hit the underside of the bar for Mansfield. That was an impressive shot. And he's had a decent first half here. Quigley, trying to impress, of course, on trial. And then Mansfield going ahead on 35 minutes with that goal from Maynard. And pretty good value for that lead. Quigley tried to increase the lead on 38 minutes. A really good flick on by Nicky Maynard. And Quigley got the ball onto his left foot and fired over the bar. But 3 minutes into stoppage time, in fact, literally the last kick of the first half, it was a long ball over the top from Swansea City. Routledge found himself in acres of space. He looks offside. I think you'd have to study the video to see whether he really was offside or not. But he took the ball around Logan and slotted it into the net with an equaliser for Swansea City. So that's the first half done and dusted here. We'll have a completely fresh Mansfield Town side for the second half. The Mansfield Town side in the second half is going to be Aidan Stone, Aidan Walker, Matt Preston and Lewis Gibbons at the back. Then Mellis will play behind Tomlinson and Khan in midfield, with Jason Law and Mal Benning as wing-backs and Andy Cook and Danny Rose up front. Join us again for the second half in around about 10 minutes, but we'll leave you with the news here at half-time that it's Swansea City 1, Mansfield Town 1.
Cheers, Martin. That's still live, by the way, guys. What you might have to do, I know this is a bit awkward, might just have to go like that, and then that one, Martin.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Why, is that not working?
No, it's consumed all the battery on that with the mic, you see. We've still got the mic there, and that's for the camera.
All right. Okay.
You've got enough lead there, haven't you?
Yeah, closer. We have to be careful with this. You don't actually touch any of these buttons, presumably. So have to be careful to hold it like that, I think. Didn't have any opportunity to Second half commentary coming up in a few minutes. Just a level check here. The Mansfield side for the second half is going to be Aidan Stone in goal, Aidan Walker, Matt Preston and Lewis Gibbons in defence, then Jacob Mellis behind Willem Tomlinson and Otis Khan in midfield, Jason Law right wing back, Mal Benning left wing back, and new signing Andy Cook and Danny Rose up front. And we'll rejoin you in a minute or so for the second half.
Doesn't affect it at all.
Danny Rose.
Yeah, go, thanks, mate.
How many more days you out there for, Martin?
Going on Monday. We're staying. Lovely. It's lovely. Yeah, no, it's lovely. Yeah, you put them yesterday to the ferry in Spain. It's literally 500 metres on the ferry 15 minutes over to Spain. It's very nice. Yeah. Sit down yourself.
Yeah, that's it, Martin.
Welcome back then, everybody, for the second half here. Swansea City 1, Mansfield Town 1. I don't know whether the Swansea team is going to be changed for the second half. I suspect, Dean, we can have the same problem we did in the first half. If the Swansea team is being changed, we'll try and get the names of the Swansea players. But the Mansfield side is going to be Aidan Stone in goal, Aidan Walker on the right of defensive three with Matt Preston in the middle and Lewis Gibbons on the left. The wing backs, Jason Law on the right, Mal Benning on the left, and the midfield three of Jacob Mellis behind Willem Tomlinson and Otis Khan, and new signing Andy Cook and Danny Rose up front for the Stags. Yeah, it is going to be a completely new Swansea lineup, which we will attempt to get for you. In fact, Dean will go and try and get that for us. Just waiting for the referee to reappear here. Good first half from Mansfield, really encouraging, with Nicky Maynard giving Mansfield the lead and Wayne Routledge equalising for Swansea with the last kick of the first half on 48 minutes. So the players not involved today, Jamie Chisholm, the young centre-half, Tyrese Sinclair, young midfielder. Hayden White is not involved today. Pretty much fully fit, but just giving a little bit longer before he gets involved in what you might call competitive pre-season action, if you like. And we are underway for the second half here at Villarreal de Santo Antonio. Mansfield kicking from left to right, and the ball comes off Danny Rose. Is that going to be a throw-in, or is that a free kick? Not quite sure.
He's bringing it over, the analyst, when he's sorted it out.
Okay, so we're just getting hold of the Swansea City side. If we think we've got trouble with the Swansea side, you can imagine the trouble that the Swansea media guys are having with the Stag side, because there are no numbers on the backs of the Mansfield Town players, which won't make it very easy. Danny Rose on the left-hand side is offside on Mansfield. He hasn't seen the flag yet, but the referee has blown his whistle now. So we're underway in the second half here at Villarreal de Santo Antonio. Two completely fresh sides for the second half here. Mansfield with one or two youngsters in there. Aidan Stone in goal, who's going to be Conrad Logan's understudy until Bobby Alejnik is fully fit, and we hope Bobby Alejnik will be fully fit soon, I suppose around end of September, perhaps October, as when Bobby will be fully fit. He is here, seen him this morning, but not ready to get back on the pitch yet. Aidan Stone gets his first touch of the ball. He has to put it out for a Swansea City throw-in on the right-hand side, halfway inside the Stags' half. Aidan Stone all in green, and Swansea have the ball on the right-hand side, back to the halfway line, and then out to the left-hand side for Swansea. Jason Law at right wing back, trying to stop the ball coming forward, can't do so. And Swansea play the ball forward. It'll go through to Aidan Stone, though, who immediately bowls the ball out to Jacob Mellis. Jacob Mellis in the holding midfield position, if you like. He plays it forward to Danny Rose. Danny Rose tries to lay it forward for Andy Cook. And nowhere near Cook, so he can't get his first touch of the ball. And Swansea have the ball just inside the Stags off. Ball forward down to the left-hand side for the Swansea City number 19. He can't keep the ball in play. And that'll go out for a throw-in to the Stags. Young Aidan Walker on the right side of a defensive three for Mansfield. He's got Matt Preston in the middle and Lewis Gibbons on the left. So Aidan Walker with this throw-in for Mansfield, throws it down the line towards Andy Cook, chests the ball down, but can't keep hold of it. And then the ball comes off Cook for a throw-in to Swansea City, halfway inside the Stags' half. Throw-in taken short. Number 24 gets the ball back, and he squares the ball out to the right-hand side for Swansea, just a few yards inside the Stags' half. Swansea have the ball again on the right, halfway inside the Stags' half. Keeping the ball nicely here, Swansea. 25 yards from the Stags' goal, out to the left-hand side. Jason Law gets a good block in on that, puts it out for a throw-in. We've played 3.5 minutes of the second half here. Two completely different sides for the second half, but it is 1-1 from the first half.
Got it. Cheers.
And Swansea go back into their own half, into the centre circle. Mansfield not seeing much of the ball in the early stages of the second half here. A little bit unlike the first half, it has to be said, where it was pretty evenly matched. There was a 5-minute spell where Swansea were on top, but aside from that, the Stags were certainly more than holding their own. And Mansfield have won themselves a throw. We've got the Swansea side now, which is thank you to our colleague, the Swansea City analyst. And Mansfield have a throw-in halfway inside their own half on the left-hand side, which Mal Benning will take. He throws it down the line towards Andy Cook. Andy Cook heads it on, but there's nobody there. And it will go back to the keeper, who is Bender for Swansea City. And then out to the right-hand side. Swansea keeping the ball in their own half. They've got Kyle Norton, Declan John, Joe Lewis, Joe Roden, George Byers, Jay Fulton, Jan Donda, Nathan Dyer, Barry Mackay and Courtney Baker Richardson in this second half for Swansea City. And there's a long ball out to the left-hand side to Barry Mackay. Tries to cut inside Jason Law, but it's cleared away by Aidan Walker from Mansfield, and Rose heads it down to Cook. A clash of heads there. Rose is holding his head. He did well to head the ball on to Andy Cook, but he's gone down. He's still holding his head, getting up. There's a good header from Danny Rose, and Mellis has the ball. Out to the right-hand side from Mansfield to Jason Law. A left-sided player playing at right wing-back. And Preston has the ball for Mansfield. Preston, long ball forward. It's headed off a defender. Rose is chasing after this, and it's smashed into the stand. A few chants of hoof from the Mansfield fans, about 100 or so Mansfield fans. Booted into the stand by Bender, and it's a Mansfield throw. Comes to Willem Tomlinson. Tomlinson goes back to his keeper, Aidan Stone, signed from Burnley for Mansfield. And the ball's out to Mal Benning on the left-hand side. Lays it off to Cook. He tries to lay off to Otis Khan, but Khan can't quite get their ball forward for Swansea. But it'll go through to Aidan Stone, who immediately bowls it out to Matt Preston. He lays it off for Aidan Walker. Forward to Danny Rose. Oh, Danny Rose is pushed in the back. That's a foul. Referee blows his whistle. Stags have a free kick. A few yards inside their own half. And Preston will play the ball out to the left-hand side. Otis Khan to Lewis Gibbons. Lewis Gibbons made a few first-team appearances last season, of course. Made his debut at Macclesfield in the league. Jason Law heads it inside. Ball's up in the air. Law heads it forward for Andy Cook. Andy Cook tries to play it inside to Danny Rose. It's blocked by a defender. It'll go out for a throw into the Stags. We've played just under 7 minutes of the second half here. 52 minutes gone. Swansea City 1, Mansfield Town 1. And Mansfield have a throw-in, more or less level with the edge of the area on the right-hand side. Jason Law to take it. Short to Willem Tomlinson, back to Jason Law, but Jason Law's let it run out for a throw-in. Not really got going in the second half, Dean. In fact, I don't think I've even written anything down in my notes.
No, not really. It's quite sloppy, isn't it? But Swansea showing the class, really. I think they've kept the ball well. They've tried to split us open a couple of occasions. They've tried to stretch the play whenever they could. But we've kept our shape well. For a new defence, effectively, we've kept our shape well. Limited Swansea to very little opportunities in the second half, but they had good possession of the football. Obviously a class side. But so far still 1-1, but yet to kick into life the second half. I think that's fair to say, Martin.
Swansea have the ball on the halfway line. Switched to the left-hand side with Declan John coming forward. Lays it off to Barry Mackay down by the corner flag. Swansea want a throw-in, saying the ball came off Jason Law, but the linesman says it's going to be a Stags throw-in. So Stags throw-in down by their own corner flag on the right-hand side. Young Aidan Walker will take this throw-in for Mansfield. Throws it down the line towards Andy Cook. Andy Cook heads it on for Rose. Rose, good play. Out to the left-hand side. Space for Mal Benning to come forward down the left-hand side for Mansfield. Benning, just inside the Swansea half. Lays it off to Otis Khan. Otis Khan is bundled off the ball too easily. Loses it. And Swansea get the ball back. Barry Mackay in the centre circle. Swansea have it on the right-hand side. George Byers. And then Joe Lewis, who is number 54. He came on as a substitute in the first half. And he's now playing the second half as well. Ball out to the right-hand side for Swansea, a few yards inside the Stags' half. Slid forward. Swansea coming forward here. The ball with Jan Donda. And out to the left-hand side for Declan John. But Good block by Jason Law, and that'll be a throw-in for Swansea City. Halfway inside the Stags half on the left-hand side. So a quiet start to the second half here compared to the first half. Not a lot in terms of goal-mouth action. Mellis wins the ball for Mansfield, lays it off to Aidan Walker. Then Jason Law. Law gets past one man. That's good play. Law coming forward down the right-hand side to William Tomlinson. William Tomlinson switches the ball superbly to Mal Benning on the left-hand side. Benning, 10 yards inside the Swansea half on the left-hand side to Cook. Cook back to Benning. Benning goes back to Jacob Mellis. Mellis. And Benning again on the left-hand side for Mellis. Mellis has just been caught there as after he released that ball. And the referee not happy with that challenge. Wants a little word with the Swansea player. Just left his foot in on Mellis there. And Mansfield have a free kick taken short by Benning to Mellis. Mellis long ball forward towards Jason Law, but headed back to the keeper. Good effort that from Mellis. Long high ball. Jason Law coming in at the far post. Couldn't quite get there, and it was headed back by Joe Lewis to his keeper. Swansea play the ball forward. Falls fortuitously to Courtney Baker-Richardson. And Swansea have the ball halfway inside the Stags half on the left-hand side with Declan John. Swansea, 30 yards from the Stags goal. Switch play to the right-hand side. George Byers for Swansea. Mansfield keeping their shape well. And then a good clearance by William Tomlinson puts the ball into the touch. Stags keeping their shape well, stopping Swansea. We're trying to create something coming forward. As the Stags fans chant, "Johnny, Johnny, give us away," Johnny Dempster. And he does indeed give them away. Swansea have the ball 35 yards from the Stags goal. Switch it to the left-hand side for Declan John. And then back to the halfway line. Stags fans chanting "One Johnny Radford." I can't actually see where Johnny Radford is. Oh, he's down underneath us. Saw him earlier, but can't quite see where he was watching the game from. So Swansea out on the right-hand side, halfway inside the Stags half. Play the ball inside to Fulton. But across to the far post is missed by the striker, and Jason Law can clean up and wins himself a throw-in. Well, I thought he did. The ball was clearly played by a Swansea player out for a throw-in, but it's been given as a Swansea City throw-in on the left-hand side, taken by Declan John and then George Byers. Swansea keeping the ball, but a good interception by Aidan Walker. Clears the ball. Andy Cook's, Danny Rose is trying to get on the end of it. He can't do so. And it's out for a throw into Swansea City on the halfway line. Bit of a midfield scrap this second half. Almost nothing happening at either end. We've played 13 minutes and there's been literally no goal-mouth action. I've written absolutely nothing down. And yet the ball's hardly gone out of play, really. So, can't, as the ball then goes off a Swansea player on the far side. Not really much to talk about it, Dean, to be truthful.
No, you're quite right. Obviously, Martin, it's degenerated into a bit of a midfield scrap. I think that's the nature sometimes when you're changing the entire side into at half-time. Swansea have done the same, so it is like a completely fresh game of football. It's all about fitness, isn't it, at this time of the year? We know that, but it would be nice for a little bit more goal-mouth action so we can get quite excited this second half for our followers.
Aidan Walker coming forward down the right-hand side has laid it off to Jason Law, but Jason Law's square ball is a poor one, has been intercepted by Swansea, but then Jason Law makes amends and wins the ball back from Swansea. Lays it off to Jacob Mellis. Mellis tries to find Tomlinson, but that's a loose ball, and Swansea have the ball just inside the Stags half. Ball is with Nathan Dyer, a veteran footballer. Ball's on the edge of the area for Swansea with Donda on the right-hand side. goes back to Byers, halfway inside the Stags' half, and then played inside. Swansea keeping the ball here in the Stags' half. Barry Mackay, 35 yards from the Stags' goal, out to the right-hand side for Swansea. And then Nathan Dyer crosses it. It's deflected, and that'll be a corner. I think the first corner of the second half, with 15 minutes gone. So corner from the right-hand side for Swansea. George Byers going across to the far side to take it. Mansfield have brought everybody back apart from Otis Khan. So George Byers with his corner for Swansea. Low towards the edge of the area, only as far as Jacob Mellis, who clears it for a throw-in to Swansea on the left-hand side. Really hasn't got going this second half at all, compared to a really interesting first half with plenty to talk about. Not a lot to talk about here. Throw-in for Swansea. Declan John to take it halfway inside the Stags' half. Throws it short, gets the ball back. Mellis trying to win the ball for Mansfield. He's forced Swansea backwards, and Mellis will pick up the loose ball. Chips it forward for Danny Rose. Can Danny Rose get there? Yes, he does. Forces the ball forward towards Andy Cook. The defender will get there first, and he knocks it back to his keeper. Good play from Danny Rose, forcing an error from the defender. He's chasing after the defender again here. He's done well. Ball eventually back with the Swansea keeper, Bender. And Bender chips it forward. But Mellis will shepherd it through to Matt Preston, and Preston plays it back to Mellis on the halfway line to Lewis Gibbons, and then Mal Benning on the left-hand side. To Jacob Mellis in the centre circle for the Stags, lays it off to Matt Preston. Preston slides it forward, straight down the middle. I think he was hoping someone will make a run for him, but nobody did. And it's run straight through to Bender in the Swansea City goal. We played 17 minutes of the second half here. Long ball forward from Swansea. That'll go straight through to Aidan Stone, who can just let it go out for a goal kick onto the running track behind the goal. This stadium surrounded by a running track. We've got the main stand, which we're at the back of here, probably holds a couple of thousand, I would say. On the far side, we've got a supermarket on the running track, and then on our right-hand side, there is some kind of sports centre or clinic, something like that. Willem Tomlinson coming forward for Mansfield. He's got Jason Law on his right. Law's got Walker overlapping. Walker gets it onto his left foot, crosses into the middle. Keeper comes out and claims. Just a bit too close to the keeper, that cross from Jason Law, but not a bad effort. And the keeper immediately bowls it out for Swansea. They have the ball halfway inside the Stags' half. I beg your pardon, halfway inside their own half, I should say. Swansea on the right-hand side with Kyle Norton. And then to Joe Lewis. And then Declan John on the left-hand side. Swansea keeping the ball inside their own half here. Mansfield just maintaining their shape, which is three at the back with a couple of wing-backs. And then Mellis behind Tomlinson and Khan. Ball forward from Swansea is a poor one. Goes straight through to Aidan Stone again. Slow hand clap from the Stags fans. Is it a slow hand clap? I'm not sure. There's not a lot happening out on the field, is the team. Aidan Walker has the ball for Mansfield. Knocks it back to Aidan Stone. Towards Andy Cook, bounces over Andy Cook, and Swansea have the ball just inside their own half. But well won by Mal Bennett. Inside to Otis Khan. Not seen a lot of Otis Khan, almost nothing really in this second half. And he lays it off to Mellis. Mellis, great ball out to the right-hand side for Jason Law. Jason Law's got Aidan Walker overlapping, but cuts inside onto his left foot. Goes back into the middle to Jacob Mellis. Mellis lays it off to Lewis Gibbons. And then Gibbons out to the left-hand side for Benning, halfway inside the Swansea half. Back to Otis Khan. Otis Khan back to Lewis Gibbons. Gibbons Benning again on the left-hand side, plays it inside. That'll fall for Otis Khan, lays it off to Benning. Benning, high ball into the middle towards Danny Rose. Rose is offside as the keeper comes out and claims anyway. And Swansea, long ball forward, which Barry Mackay will chase after. Barry Mackay towards the edge of the area. Good touch from Aidan Walker. Gets the ball away. Good defending that from Aidan Walker. And Tomlinson has the ball for Mansfield. So the youngsters holding their own here. Some good performances from Stags youngsters. You almost wouldn't know who the youngsters are and who the more experienced players are. Aidan Walker coming forward on the right-hand side for Mansfield. Long ball forward, but that's a poor ball. Over and Andy Cook. No chance for him to get anywhere near it. So little in terms of service, really, for Cook and Rose up front for Mansfield here. It's feeding off scraps, really. The ball with Swansea on the halfway line, left-hand side with Declan John. It's a good challenge from Aidan Walker, but Swansea get the ball back. Jan Donda. And then George Byers. Out to the right-hand side for Swansea. Ball down the line for Nathan Dyer. Gets the 1-2, gets the ball back. There's Nathan Dyer. Low ball into the middle. That's good defending from Matt Preston to block the ball and put it behind for a corner.
Yeah, good attacking intent there from Swansea City. Lovely little 1-2. Caught the Stags on the back foot. It's a corner kick. But you said there's not been a lot of goal-mouth action for anybody to get excited about in this second half, but all about fitness. But we need to be on our mettle defensively when this flag kick comes in.
Corner for Swansea then, from the right-hand side, into the middle. Cleared away, and a foul on one of the Mansfield players, Lewis Gibbons. So it's going to be a free kick for the Stags inside their own area. Foul on Lewis Gibbons there, which Aidan Stone, the Stags goalkeeper, will take. Long ball forward towards Danny Rose. He chests it down to Willem Tomlinson. Lays it off to Jason Law. And then Jacob Mellis on the halfway line for Mansfield. Slides it forward, almost puts Rose in, but just the defender just gets a touch on it. And Swansea can come away with the ball. Good challenge, though, from Aidan Walker. And it's out for a throw-in to Swansea on the halfway line. And I think we're going to have a drinks break. 22 minutes gone. Strange, isn't it, Dean? It's a totally different second half to what we had in the first half. Plenty of action to talk about in the first half. Really, not a lot here to talk about, other than the fact that the Mansfield players are putting in a decent performance. Some of the youngsters have impressed. I've been very impressed by Aidan Walker on the right side of the back three for Mansfield. And Jason Law has done well coming forward as a right wing back. But not a lot to talk about, really. Nothing for Andy Cook and Danny Rose to get on the end of. Otis Khan been very quiet, in truth. We've hardly seen anything of him. And really not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree with you, Martin. The youngsters, I think, have shone. They've done well this second half. You wouldn't know, I think, as you said in commentary, you wouldn't know which ones are the experienced players and which ones are the youngsters from a Mansfield Town point of view. So, you know, it's a clean slate for the new gaffer, John Dempster. You know, all the players, this is their opportunity to really shine pre-season. You know, it's been a good intensive workout here in Portugal by all accounts, from what we've kept up to date with on iFollow and the Stag social media feeds. So, yeah, certainly the first half there was a lot more invention, a lot more creativity in the middle of the park. Strikers looked lively and sharp. But Rose and Cook have had, like you said, feeding off scraps really, had nothing really to do other than like chase down long hopeful balls. And creativity wise we've not shown too much, but defensively we've done okay. But as we know, Martin, these sort of so early in pre-season, it's just about getting minutes into players into it and topping up the fitness really. Still very early days in pre-season, but yeah, from an attacking point of view, there's not been anything really to get us too excited. And from Swansea's point of view, apart from that little 1-2 as well, you know, they've kept the ball reasonably well, but they've not hurt us, have they? They've not forced Stones into any saves of any note. So, yeah, at the minute, midway through the second half, drinks breaks taking place. I think both sides have been reasonably satisfied, but I think if we can up the ante a little bit, maybe give the fans 1-2 more memories to take home with them on their flights back home to England, most of which the fans are going back either today or tomorrow.
So we're back underway here, and Swansea have the ball halfway inside their own half. Switch it out to the right hand side. Ball forward from Joe Rodon is blocked, and then Mellis lays it off to Otis Khan. Otis Khan plays it back. Dangerous ball, but it does reach Matt Preston, and Preston goes back to Aidan Stone in the Stags goal. We'll see him on the bench, certainly, in the early league games until Bobby Lejnik is fit, probably around October time, I guess. We'll see Bobby Lejnik back in the Stag squad. So Aidan Stone will possibly have an opportunity in the odd Checker Trade Trophy game, I would have thought. The draw for which I think I saw the other day is coming up fairly soon. Swansea going backwards here through number 44, who's not on our list. So Swansea have made a change at that drinks break, which we don't know who number 44 is. Otis Khan has the ball for Mansfield. He's coming forward, a chance to impress here. Otis Khan still going forward, nothing on for him, runs into a defender, and then Swansea will clear. So Otis Khan trying to make an impression there, running at the Swansea defence, but he had nothing else on for him, as it turned out. And Swansea will clear. Have the ball on the left-hand side with Declan John. And we go back to substitute, number 44, and then their keeper, Bender. Mansfield keeping their shape. Almost dropped into a 4 at the back, Mansfield. Benning almost looks as though he's gone into the left back position now, with Jason Law moving forward. As Danny Rose tries to win the ball from Mansfield, can't quite do so. Swansea playing the ball out from the back. Mellis, just a little push in the back for Jacob Mellis to try and win the ball. It was a pretty obvious foul and spotted by the referee.
Yeah, he's not going to get away with that, Jacob Mellis, right in front of the referee. As you say, just a little shove in the back. Free kick to Swansea City. Credit the Stags fans, they're trying to keep a little bit of atmosphere in Portugal. Most people we spoke to have really enjoyed the trip. But yeah, back to the action, and Swansea back on the ball in the midfield areas. And you would say it's become a bit of just a midfield scrap this second half. But let's hope we can find a little bit of quality, and it'd be nice to have a second Stags goal if we possibly can.
Aidan Walker lays the ball off to Danny Rose. Danny Rose plays the ball forward, but William Tomlinson is offside. And Swansea take the free kick quickly. Ball's with George Byers for Swansea. Looking it round at the back to Fulton, and then out to the left-hand side for Declan John. 10 yards inside the Stags half, plays the ball inside, tries to play a 1-2, but Jason Law is alive to that. And he's shepherding the ball out for a throw-in. He's impressed, Jason Law. He's a left-sided player. Started off life as a striker. He was bought by Adam Murray quite a few years ago now as a striker. I remember Adam Murray telling me we were going to expect great things from Jason Law. He's taken a while, really. He's not broken through into the first team yet, but he has impressed in pre-season before, and he's impressing in pre-season again. Maybe this will be his year to make an impression. He's done really well, right wing back here, left-sided player, but he's done well both defensively and coming forward. Swansea have the ball just inside the Stags half with Declan John to the substitute, number 44, and then into the centre circle. Swansea still have the ball just inside the Stags half, chipped forward for Jan Donda, taking on Willem Tomlinson. And William Tomlinson emphatically puts the ball into touch for a throw into Swansea. Throw into Swansea. Level with the edge of the Stags area on the left-hand side. Declan John to take it. Takes it short to Donda. And then back to Mackay. Good tackle though by Jacob Mellis to win the ball. Mellis lays it off to Andy Cook. Andy Cook, 10 yards inside his own half, keeps the ball nicely, plays it forward. But Danny Rose can't get on the end of it. And Nathan Dyer has it for Swansea. In the centre circle, lays the ball off. Rose tries to get there, can't do so. And Swansea had the ball just inside the Stags half. Good noise coming from the Stags fans. 100 or so, I would say. And about 10 or so from Swansea, probably. Swansea have the ball on the left-hand side with Barry Mackay taking on Jason Law, heading for the byline into the area. And Jason Law does well to put it behind for a corner, I thought. But the referee says it's a goal kick. And Jason Law will be happy about that. It was good defending.
Yeah, he did even better really, didn't he? Didn't even give away the corner, Jason Law. So, yeah, you're right. It's a great window of opportunity for some of these players who are not first team established with the new gaffer coming in. Obviously, he knows a lot of the young players through doing so well with the academy sides, Martin. So, if you're a young player at Mansfield Town and you know, as you said, they've got to earn this stripe. So there's no givens in at Mansfield Town. But if you're a young player and you know John Dempster, you know that if you're going to play well enough, you're going to get an opportunity. So, yeah. All good so far, but one or two have shown good glimpses of potential, good shines of sparkle. But say it's been difficult for them in this second half with a brand new team and quite a few of them making their first team debuts. Really, Martin.
Mellis lays the ball off to Lewis Gibbons. Out to the left-hand side for Mal Benning. Benning to Otis Khan. Mellis again plays it forward. Can't find Khan and. Swansea have the ball with the unmistakable figure of Nathan Dyer. Swansea coming forward down the right-hand side. Stags fans chant, "Can we hear Swansea sing?" Well, there's only about 10 of them, so no, we can't. Swansea have the ball down the byline. Cross into the middle. Headed down. Oh, brilliant save from Aidan Stone. It was headed down by Courtney Baker-Richardson from that cross in the byline from the right-hand side. And Aidan Stone made a superb save to tip it wide of his left post. That was a wonderful save from Aidan Stone.
Absolutely brilliant save there from Stone, and he'll be chuffed to bits with that. Not really any work to do this second half. He's here, you know, he wants to make a good impression here at Mansfield Town, so I'm sure he'll be grateful of the work, Martin, and it was a great start.
Corner for Swansea from the right-hand side. Low into the middle. He cleared away by Jacob Mellis at the second attempt. Ball for Andy Cook to run onto. He won't get there. And William Tomlinson is trying to get on the end of that loose ball, but he can't do so. Swansea coming forward down the left-hand side. Maybe this game just opening up a little bit now. Barry Mackay coming forward, taking on Aidan Walker. Cuts inside Aidan Walker into the area. And Gibbons gets a touch on it. That's Preston, in fact. And in the end, the referee says that's a foul by Barry Mackay, who broke into the Stags box there. And the Stags get away with that. Good surging run from Barry Mackay, but the referee says it's a foul by him. So free kick for the Stags inside their own area. We played 33 minutes of the second half. Jason Law plays it forward towards Andy Cook. Swansea coming forward, ball forward. Preston will clear that away. A ball forward from Jan Donda, and Preston taking no chance, blasted away. It's a corner to Swansea. The Swansea fans are chanting, "We must have come in a taxi." I think they probably have, maybe 2 taxis if we're being generous, Dean.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of banter going on now between the Stags fans and the Swansea fans. I think because there's not too much happened in the second half, they're having a good-natured sing-song.
Corner for Swansea from the left-hand side into the middle, and that's going to go behind for another corner on the far side. So Second corner in quick succession for Swansea City. This time from the right-hand side. Corner for Swansea from the right-hand side. High into the middle, headed away by Preston. And then Jacob Mellis completes the clearance to Otis Khan. Good skill from Otis Khan. But he's given the ball away and put Mansfield back under pressure here. Cross in from Swansea, headed away by Matt Preston again. Ball's up in the air. Benning gets the ball further away. Swansea have it on the halfway line. The ball's out to the left-hand side for Swansea with Declan John. Goes back into his own half to substitute number 44. Out to the right-hand side for Swansea. A ball forward for Nathan Dyer, heading for the byline, but he won't keep that. He's pretty pacey, Nathan Dyer, though he's getting on a little bit now. And that'll go out for a goal kick to the Stags. Getting lively in the stand, Dean, and a little bit livelier on the pitch, but not much.
Yeah, quite right. A little bit live on the pitch, but all these Stags and Swansea fans here spent a lot of money to come out and support their respective sides, like abroad pre-season. So, yeah, one or two have been to the local off licence for some beers. So, kicking in a bit now, and everybody's making the best of the day, which is good. It's a lively atmosphere. It's good banter, and you know, the atmosphere, particularly in Albufeira, where a lot of the Stags fans are staying, has been really good all week, Martin. So. Yeah, we're getting used to these pre-season trips abroad, and everybody's taking full advantage.
Nathan Dyer does well to get the ball forward for Swansea, but it's been well anticipated by Aidan Walker, who's really impressed here on the right side of the back three, and he nips in to clear the ball away. Otis Khan has it for Mansfield to Jacob Mellis. Mellis slides it forward for Tomlinson. Bit of space here for Tomlinson. He's got Benning on his left. Mansfield on the break here. Tomlinson plays it to Benning on the left-hand side. Lays it off for Tomlinson just outside the area. Benning again, level with the edge of the area on the left-hand side. Slides it down the line for Otis Khan. Benning tries to get past his man, but he's won a throw-in right down by the corner flag. That's the first time, really, we've seen Mal Benning breaking forward from Mansfield down the left-hand side. And causing some problems for the Swansea defence. The Stags have a throw-in on the left-hand side, taken by Benning to Rose, back to Benning. Benning, chance to cross, high, into the middle, towards Cook, goes over Cook to Tomlinson on the edge of the area. Tomlinson gets past one man. I beg your pardon, it's Jason Law. I'm sorry, Jason Law got past one man and his shot was deflected behind for a corner. Good play that from Jason Law. Confused by the colour of his hair. Looks a bit like Willem Tomlinson from behind, but it was Jason Law. Got past one man, just sidestepped him, and his shot was deflected for a corner. So Mansfield's first corner of the second half. Had quite a few in the first half taken by Alistair Smith. The first corner of the second half, and Mal Benning will take it left-footed from the right-hand side. Benning's corner into the middle, cleared away as far as Jacob Mellis, onto his left foot. Mellis' shot, saved on the line by the keeper, and that's the closest Mansfield have come in the second half.
Good bit of attacking pressure there from the Stags, and Mellis cut inside and drove quite a nice little shot. Curled effort, but too close to the goalkeeper. Comfortable save for him. But yeah, good to see the Stags finally getting a corner and showing some attacking play in the second half. I think we've kept us shape defensively really well against what is still championship opposition. So as I say, at the minute 1-1, I think it's fair result at the moment, Martin, as things stand.
Swansea have the ball, 10 yards inside their own half. Declan John slides it down the line, but he puts it into touch. Amazing how much noise 6 people can make, isn't it? This is 6 Swansea fans in front of us.
And a few bottles of beer.
We're all holding bottles of beer, making plenty of noise.
We know the Welsh can be very noisy. They're not letting their Newport counterparts down, are they? We'll have that to look forward to in a few weeks' time.
Mansfield, of course, will be in Wales for the first league game of the season. You couldn't make it up. How many times have we played Newport on the first day of the season in recent years? Well, it's a lot. Last season, of course, at the One Call Stadium, a 3-0 win for Mansfield. The season before that, I think, away from home, Danny Rose scoring. In the conference season, we played on the first day of the season. Lost 4-3, of course, so really is Incredible. Swansea have the ball on the right-hand side. That's a good challenge from Matt Preston, sliding in. And it's behind for a Swansea corner from the right-hand side, in front of the supermarket over there. Bought my salmon in there yesterday for last night's tea. Very nice it was too. And Swansea have a corner on the right-hand side, which George Byers is going to take. Slid into the middle, back towards Kyle Norton. Nathan Dyer gets the ball out to the left-hand side, but it's intercepted by Jacob Mellis. And he plays it to Otis Khan, who's been fouled, and Mansfield have a free kick halfway inside their own half. We've got just over 5 minutes to go here. No score in the second half. It's 1-1, therefore, from the first half. And I think John Dempster overall will be very satisfied with this workout. Jacob Mellis has been fouled. Another late unnecessary challenge there from Nathan Dyer. Mellis has been fouled a few times in this first half, trying to use a bit of skill to get away from his man. And Mansfield take the free kick short. It's to Mellis again. Mellis to Jason Law on the right-hand side. Law coming forward on the right-hand side. He's got Otis Khan on the left. He's just overrun it, Jason Law. Bit of inexperience perhaps there, but Mansfield get the ball back through Lewis Gibbons. Up to Khan on the left-hand side. To Tomlinson. And a ball for Tomlinson on the left-hand side. Low ball across, it might fall. For a chance for a shot there from Mal Benning, and it's been tipped over the bar. The ball was blocked to Mal Benning, and his shot from 16 yards was tipped over the bar by Bender. That was Mansfield with 4 minutes to go here, nearly nicking a late winner. But Benning's shot was tipped over, and Mansfield have another corner, the second of the second half. This will be taken from the left-hand side by Jacob Mellis. So Mellis with a corner for Mansfield from the left-hand side. Into the middle, cleared away as far as Tomlinson, whose shot is deflected just over the bar. I reckon that was on target, heading for the top corner, Dean. And it hit, I think, a Stags player and was deflected just over the bar.
Yeah, it's a smashing shot, hit full on the volley, plenty of power. But ended up being blocked, unfortunately, by a Stags counterpart. So not even a corner kick, but good attacking play from the Stags, showing good fitness levels. Close to the final whistle in this game, and we're still pouring forward, trying to get that winner, which bodes well for the future, Martin, especially at this early stage of pre-season.
Well, that was really close from Tomlinson. Mellis's corner kick came out to Tomlinson on the edge of the area, and Tomlinson hit it like a rocket. And it was deflected just over the bar. I reckon that was heading for the top corner. And that was very close indeed. And that came just after Mal Benning's shot had been tipped over, leading to that corner. Just, 2 or 3 minutes before that, Mellis's shot was saved on the line by the keeper. So Mansfield finishing this game the stronger of the two sides. And it really has been an encouraging workout for Mansfield. The Stags have themselves a free kick here, halfway inside their own half, which Aidan Stone, the goalkeeper, it comes out to take. He's all in green. So, Aidan Stone, long ball forward towards Andy Cook. Ball's headed away by the Swansea defence. Tomlinson's trying to get it back for Mansfield. Swansea have it on the left-hand side, slid forward. And they're breaking forward here. A good sliding challenge from Will Tomlinson. Puts the ball into touch, gets applause from his manager, John Dempster. Really good that from Will Tomlinson. And Swansea play the ball back into their own half. In the centre circle, Swansea. Ball with Nathan Dyer. Just inside the Stags' half. Ball out to the right-hand side for Norton. Go back into their own half for Rodon. Swansea get the ball out to the left-hand side for Declan John. Ball down the line for Barry Mackay. And then ball back into the area for Barry Mackay. And his low shot goes through Aidan Stone into the net. And Swansea take the lead here against a run of play with just a minute left. With Barry Mackay breaking into the area from the left-hand side, past Jason Law and firing low under Aidan Stone into the net. And with just a minute to go here, it's Swansea City 2, Mansfield Town 1.
Oh, we know it's not about the result here in Portugal, but it's still a shame nevertheless. The Stags battled really well, and to fall behind with a couple of minutes left is a real disappointment. Stone, it was a powerful shot, but Stone couldn't do enough to keep it out, and it's a shame right at the death that it looks like Swansea are going to nick this pre-season friendly. I think personally a draw is a fair result, but it's goals that count, and Stone weren't able to get enough on that to keep it out, Martin. Disappointing ending to the game.
Well, the result doesn't really matter in truth. Having said that, I think Mansfield will feel they've done more than enough to be on level pegging here, if not more. I think Mansfield certainly created the bigger chances in the second half, but it's Swansea who are going to win this game as we're into stoppage time now. And maybe a bit of inexperience from Mansfield with Mackay getting past Walker and Law there and firing under young keeper Aidan Stone. Swansea have the ball halfway inside their own half. Benning knocks the ball down, but it's out for a throw-in to Swansea City. Halfway inside their own half. Throw-in for Swansea, goes back to the keeper Bender. Bender slides it out to the left-hand side for Declan John. Long ball down the line. Aidan Walker headed away to William Tomlinson. Tomlinson wins a throw-in into stoppage time. I don't suppose there'll be too much of it. Aidan Walker to take this throw-in for Mansfield. Takes it short to Jacob Mellis. Mellis turns to Aidan Walker. Goes out for another Mansfield throw-in. John Dempster plays it back to Aidan Walker. Bit of urgency there from John Dempster. And the ball's out for another throw into Mansfield. I don't suppose Mansfield would admit to being disappointed at this team, but I think, in truth, they probably will be, because they've played well enough to at least draw it, if not win it. And a lot of people will only see the scoreline. Mansfield have got themselves another throw, so perhaps a final opportunity to launch the ball into the box. Aidan Walker with a throw on the right-hand side towards Danny Rose. Danny Rose has it inside. Walker will try and get there, he can't. And Swansea will clear, but only as far as Tomlinson. But then Swansea get the ball back through Jan Donder, and then Swansea have a bit of space on the right-hand side. Back into the middle for Swansea. To Fulton. Out to the left-hand side for the goal scorer Barry Mackay. And then back for Fulton, and the referee puts a whistle to his lips, and that is full time here at Villarreal de Santo Antonio. And the Stags have been beaten by 2-1. Swansea City 2, Mansfield Town 1. That doesn't really tell the story of the game, because Mansfield's players, both in the first half and second half, have more than held their own here. Mansfield taking the lead in the first half through Nicky Maynard, it being pegged back right in stoppage time at the end of the first half, and then a goal a minute from the end of the second half from Barry Mackay means that Swansea City have beaten Mansfield Town here by 2-1.
Yeah, definitely a game of two halves, Martin. We were definitely really impressive in the first half. We're more than matched Swansea in all departments, took the lead. Brilliant for Maynard to get his first Stags goal in his effectively first pre-season friendly. Second half, a bit more disjointed, obviously, when you change the whole side at the second half. It's all about fitness, so not quite such an impressive second half from either side, really. But fitness is what it's all about. Both sides gave a decent account of themselves. I think we'll be generally really, really pleased with the workout, with the fitness levels. A shame, obviously, to lose the goal right at the end, because a draw would have been a fair result. Shot just had too much power into it for Stone in the Stags' goal. But I think a draw would have been a fair result. It's not about that. You're right, though. Some Stags fans will just see that. But at the end of the day, we're playing against a championship side with plenty of new blood in the Stags side, and getting to know each other. And I think after 10 days in with this Stag squad, just still taking time to gel.
very, very early days, but generally I think we can be really pleased, although a little bit frustrated that we've not quite ended up with a draw. But it's been a decent workout, Martin, good fitness, and that's what it's all about at this time of the season. There's plenty of pre-season games to fine-tune everything, that's for sure.
Yeah, some impressive performances from Mansfield in the second half. The two players we talked about, Aidan Walker and Jason Law, ironically, it was the two of them that actually were beaten by Barry Mackay in scoring that goal for the second half, which is disappointing for them, but they shouldn't be too downhearted. They did play well in that second half. Mansfield didn't create a whole load of chances, but certainly were on top towards the end of the game, with Jason Law's shot deflected for a corner, then Jacob Mellis's shot saved on the line, then Mal Benning's shot tipped over the bar, and finally Willem Tomlinson's shot, which seemed to be heading for the top corner, deflected just over the bar. Mansfield a whole host of chances there, and if Mansfield had won the game, I don't think there would have been any complaints from Swansea that would have been justified, but it was Swansea who went to the other end and scored a minute from the end when Mackay broke down the left-hand side past Law and Walker and smashed a shot onto Stone into the net, which is a shame because people afterwards probably will look at the highlights and they might see that the defending there wasn't the best, but in fact those two young players did themselves proud.
Yeah, generally speaking, those two particular players, they've done really well, Martin. They're thrust into a first-team environment, if you like. It's front of a crowd. It got a little bit vociferous towards the end. So, it's going to be great experience, great learning curve for them. Everybody's going to learn from it. But it's been a really good workout. Fitness levels are going to improve from this, and it's nice to see all the Stags players taking the applause from the Stags fans now. Mutual applause. It's a long way out here. Stags fans and Swansea fans obviously paid hundreds of pounds to come out here and watch their side pre-season. So it's been a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and it weren't all about the result. The fitness levels certainly have increased. It's been a good competitive game, and we'll bring on the next friendlies, Martin, and certainly whetted the appetite for the new football season.
So that's just about it from Villarreal de Santo Antonio. Thanks very much for joining us. Sorry we were slightly late coming on air just before kick-off, but I hope you've enjoyed our commentary this afternoon. It's finished here. Swansea City 2, Mansfield Town 1, in effectively what was two different games. I think Mansfield can be very pleased with that workout. Slightly disappointed in the end to lose the game, but it's not about the results at this stage of the season. So thanks very much for listening. From myself, Martin Shaw, and Dean Fowkes. We'll see you again, certainly during the season, the season proper. I'm not quite sure yet which matches we'll be able to bring you full match commentary of during pre-season, but for today, thanks very much for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.